look at that game, the first game with Cincinnati, what do you take from that?
They scored a lot more points than us. Try to not allow that this time, but they hit us with a screen at the end of the half that hurt. But that was probably the biggest thing. They were able to make more plays, especially in the red zone. That hurt us big time. Of just letting them, holding them to third down and then allowing them to score touchdowns on those third downs. That just really put us down. And for us as a team, going in at half, down 21-0 is a hard deficit for us to be able to come back from. So we know, especially going in this game defensively, we can't allow them to jump on top of us that fast and put ourselves in such a hole.
Jason, their red zone defense is very good. Yours is not very good. If you could pinpoint one thing that is earmarked the red zone defense, what would you say is the problem?
Oh, man. I know tight ends have hurt us over the middle in our cover twos, and I think this past game, our red zone, it was a good play, and we just didn't do a good job, disciplined enough with the play that they ran, kind of holding Mercedes Lewis in there to block. So it's hard to just say pinpoint one thing. It's like you can go through the plays and point out what was erred on that play. So just trying to fix that and make sure when they do get down there, we're at our best. But ultimately, hey, if we can stop them from getting down there, we don't even have to play red zone defense.
Looks like they've hit a couple big plays over the last couple games and sparked their offense a little bit. I know that's an emphasis of Greg, but how do you go about making sure that they don't get those big plays?
Studying it. I think one thing if you can try to study and know the looks of when they're taking shots or when those downfield passing game is showing up, maybe down and distance-wise, formation-wise, personnel-wise. Obviously, a guy like A.J. Green, you always want to know where he's at because he has the capability to take a 3-yard pass 80 yards. So he's the type of guy you always want to know where he's at. But those type of things of just studying it, trying to anticipate it, knowing when those are coming, and you can know, hey, let me back up an extra step because this is when they run 4 verts or this is when they run this passing concept to be able to defend against it.
How are you guys playing better now than you were in the first meeting?
So how are we playing better? Man, we're not winning football games, so it's really, I guess, not really something I've kind of pinpointed and say, well, we're doing this better because we're not coming out from that game to where we are now. It's been the same thing. So I think for us defensively, we've continued to do a good job stopping the run. We just have to make our plays down the stretch. I think that's going to enable us to win a football game. Throughout the course of the season, we played good for stretches. We played good for the majority of the game and felt like we've outplayed our opponents, but they've been the ones to make the plays down the stretch. So that's something that I think we have to do better to be able to get a win.
We may have asked you this the first time around, but you guys are still playing so hard for Hugh. I mean, do you recognize, how much it might mean for him to go back to Cincinnati and have them be, your guys' first victory of the season?
To be honest, until you asked that question, I hadn't even thought about it. But I just think for us as an organization and as a team, it's just this is the next game on the schedule, and it's been a long time since we've won. So I think it would be special for Hugh. It would be special for all of us as a division opponent. So let's just do everything we can throughout the course of this week to prepare to try to come out on the other side on Sunday.
When you prepare for a team that's averaging 68 yards a game running the ball, and they're at a historical low in their franchise, does it make it easier to prepare for the rest of their offense?
I won't say that. I think maybe if you were going against an attack where you say, oh, the running backs are just okay, they're not running the ball well, maybe you could think like that. But I think with the running backs they're so dynamic that it's like, man, they're not doing a great job running the ball, but one person out of their gap and one of those guys can really hurt you. So I think whenever that is the case, kind of even similar to Detroit, they weren't running the ball really well, but they have such dynamic running backs that you have to make sure you're containing those guys because they can hurt you at any point where they get the ball. So I think for us, you realize they're not running the ball as well, so it's, hey, let's emphasize that and make sure they don't get it going on us.
When you talk about not making the plays late to finish games, you talked about it a bunch Sunday and then again Monday. You kind of blamed being so young, this team. I mean, do you buy that? I mean, does that seem to be like these guys, the young guys, just aren't consistent enough, especially late in games?
It doesn't matter what you blame it on. At this point, it's just whoever's out there whatever given play, you got to find a way to make that play, whether it's a guy on offense, a guy on defense, whether it's a special teams player, somebody maybe Colquitt punting the ball and us pinning them down on the one, whatever it is, whatever excuse we've had, young or whatever it is, inexperienced, we just have to find a way to overcome it.
Jason, we're now beyond that point of that bad Rams season, Tennessee season you had where you started with 0-6.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a lot about that at 0-6. So this is unlike anything you've been through. Just wondering your observations to withstand a season like this at this stage of your career.
Oh, man. I don't know. Come into work every day, focus on what the task is at hand. For a corner, knowing all your adjustments, all your assignments, and going out there every single day in practice, giving it your all, and getting ready to play on Sunday. And I would tell anybody, a young guy, whoever asking me, that's the approach to take. You know, obviously this isn't where we want to be, and then especially like you asked for me at this point in my career, obviously you don't have many more seasons to build upon to be good in the future. So obviously this isn't where you want to be, but I think we all have a sense of pride, and we all want to win, and we have a good fan base here that you want to win for. So you focus on those things and those positive things to keep going.
When you signed the 1-15 team, though, what did you think this year was going to be like?
I want to play football. So I thought I want to play football. They're giving me an opportunity to do so. Let's go out there and try to improve. So.
Jason, I know you guys got the fumble this week, the interception last week, but do you think defensively you guys are forcing enough turnovers? Do you need to do more?
Yeah, we definitely need to do more than that, and I think all of us have kind of said that, you know, kind of throughout, especially after that game Sunday. You just look at it. We were able to hold them for the most part offensively. They were able to hold us for the most part offensively, but they were the ones with all the turnovers, and that was the difference in the game. So definitely as a defense, that's something that we have to do a better job of.
How do you fix something like that? Does it just kind of come to you? Or?
I mean, they had 5 fumbles, I think, in the game on Sunday. Got to find a way to get to some of those footballs, and I think that was the difference. They didn't take a ton of chances down the field throwing the ball, but when a team puts the ball on the ground 5 times, you got to come away with more than one of them. So it's not really something where it's just like, man, we got to make a huge changes. I mean, if you can force 5 fumbles, you got to be able to come up with more than just one of them.
Jason, this time last year, I know you weren't here, but when the record reached this point last year, guys were saying, hey, we're going to avoid that history that no one wants to be involved with having a winless season. Hugh Jackson got on board with saying that. Has it reached the point this year where you guys are talking about that?
No, I haven't had a conversation about it, but I'm pretty sure no one in this locker room organization wants to be mentioned on that side of history. So I think each and every week from here on out, we're going to be trying to win football games the same way we've done over the past 10 games. But obviously, we hope to come out on the other side.
The Browns, they tweeted out their pregame speech in the tunnel. How important do you think that message is when you guys are, winless at this point? Is that going to be your message going forward?
I don't know. I mean, I just try to find different things each week to get guys, myself included, just fired up to play the game. And each week is something that comes up that maybe it just rings for me, and I want to spread that message. But nothing that I'm in deep thought about. Like, man, I think these guys come in every week and they're ready to play. If for not anything else, we have a lot of young guys on this team, and the one thing that's guaranteed, hey, Duke, the one thing that's guaranteed is when you're not winning is that a ton of changes are going to happen. So I think as a young player or just a player in this league in general, you better make sure when the Sunday film comes on, you're playing some good football because you want to have a job, you want to play in this league. So I don't think my speech is just to fire guys up, but I don't think anyone needs a different angle to look at things or any extra motivation. You want to play football in the NFL, you better come ready to play.